This program is presented by BSP Life, with you for life.
Nisambula Vinaka, greetings to you all, whole of Fiji that you're watching this program. Vebagarara Mataki, knowing the law. And we are so blessed this evening that we have our guest from the police force, none other than the Chief Operating Officer, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Mr. Abdul Khan. And we will be talking about just generalization on the police. And we are blessed, ladies and gentlemen, Turanga Kinamarama, that we will be talking in Fijian and also in Toki language. And we are blessed that the general public need people that they can converse in so many languages. And I will introduce him to you this evening. Turanga Obisalevu, Abdul Khan. Ni ba mula mandanga ver na biwa kani sar tumai ene kami ni kwa.
Dawale go tal ngasi o ba mula saka tukaini wiki mudona lidi bonua do sar tumai na kami ni kwa dona dawale busar na soli chuko ngono go mendamai mai wasakina we rna lidi bonua, and I would like to extend a bulo binaka to each and every one of you all over in Fiji. And also appreciation to the community at large that are there, that have been assisting police, and not forgetting appreciation and a big binawalebu to the families of the Fiji Police Force that have always been there supporting the police, and the prayers that you have always been giving to the Fiji Police Force.
Binawalebu Turinowisa. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We are very blessed today that he can speak fluent Itoke and also in English. This is not in our interview. Where do you learn all this Itoke language?
Naga taltalangasi o nungu bumbu mai enuda I serua.
Sandila.
Eo. Na nungu bulo todo ko kito tongani ni bisari. Bimalwa itunga bulidiki na mai na bosa. I would like to thank that I'm blessed that I know the language, and it has helped me a lot, and also the relations that I have. O nangu leni wale tala o tina na mai kandabu. O eu mai serua o tina na mai kandabu. Sanga indo na met sa toka ningo na vive aio. Dona rida tala.
Vilaka Turinowisa, you can still speak in Hindi?
Yeah.
Roni kira ni bambula talanga to all the Hindi speakers.
नवालेबू तलतलंगासे आप सबको हमारा नमस्कार में राम राम और अस्सलाम वालेकुम जो आप लोग सब सुन रहे हैं हमारा ये जो टीवी प्रोग्राम तलतलंगासे के साथ आज सांझ को है और हम तलतलंगासे को और माई टीवी को धन्यवाद करना चाहते हैं, शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहते हैं कि ये मौका हमको मिला है कि आज हम उनके साथ बैठ के और ये प्रोग्राम कर रहे हैं.
Ladies and gentlemen, I take this time to thank the police force for allowing themselves to be here every Thursday to come and enlighten us. Sometimes they will guide us, sometimes they will teach us, and we've extended the invitation to the Commissioner of Police, and then 1 week will be the Assistant Commissioner of Police. That means about 5 of them. And then the Tal of the police, and then we'll go down, I think will be the last Thursday of the month, will be shared between the divisional police commanders. So we'll have the top brass of police to come and enlighten us every Thursday like this. And also to the police family. Thank you very much for standing in high time, low time, the time of cyclone, the time of flooding, the time of curfew. You are Mr. Everything most of the time. So I take this time on behalf of television station, My TV, and behalf of New Methodist Christian Fellowship to say a big vinakabagalemu to all the time that you are on the road, away from the family and taking the load. And most of the time we, the general public, we are very quick to criticize and to point fingers. But today, once again, I want to say a big Vinaka Magalevu. We know one another before we sit here. And I take this time for your good friendship. And I believe a few years ago, we normally meet at we call it the place, the Wailing Sea Wall. And I did not know until you shared with me what you're going through. And I'm blessed that I'm part of your promotion in the police force. And I take this time for the friendship. During Cyclone Anna, what are some of the things that you want to share or you want to enlighten the public that the police force, especially you are the head, the chief operation. That means you head the operation. When we talk about the operation, we know it's on the ground. You are on the front line. Can you share with the public?
As we know that before Cyclone Anna, we were hit with COVID-19 and still going on. And then we have Cyclone Yasa coming in. And then Cyclone Anna. It was a very difficult times that we were going through. And there was a lot of challenges out there. It was not easy for all of us together with the community out there. We were looking at the COVID operations, and then we have the natural disasters coming in. How do we do all about in terms of policing out there? It is only the will of God and also from the support of the general public that is out there and the faith that they have in the police and the confidence which makes us to enable ourselves in order to do our duties out there.
What are some challenges when you face with Anna? You know, sometimes people call when it's night time or the water level is rising very fast. What are some of the challenges, experience-wise or from your officers on the ground, that you can share with the public?
Pinaka, as we have seen that the cyclone warnings was going out there, but most of the areas that we have seen that the general public was not taking this seriously. And once the warning was going and when it fell to hours of darkness, we started getting number of calls that was coming in. And we were responding to all the calls almost that was coming in there to ensure the safety and security of every individual out there. One must also understand that we police officers are human beings as well. We need to understand that side of things as well, that we are now and then also getting the lives of the officers out there that can be taken out during the cyclone and all those things. But I must say that officers stood tall out there in terms of the request that was coming in terms of the calls that was coming in. The logs that we had within the command center itself at the Police Coordination Command Center, which is at Totongo, we had a total of 327 calls that was received. That's only at Police Command Coordination Center. That's apart from other coordination centers where we were receiving calls that was coming in where people wanted to be evacuated, taken to the evacuation centers, and they were not taking the calls, the warnings that was coming in seriously. Having said that, we also, when we went around, we can see that people were still swimming. They were swimming in the flooded waters when there were warnings going out there. And one does not understand that how the current would be, how strong the current can be from a normal time to a situation as such when there are flooding that was going on there. So we really urge the members of the public, when there is warning coming in terms of cyclone and the adverse weather, please take it seriously. We are there to assist. But if you do your part, it will make everybody's work much more easier and you'll be saving a lot of lives out there.
Now, we'll go for a break. Once again, member of public, when you hear the warning, please listen and obey. Until we meet next episode.
program is presented by BSP Life, with you for life.
We are a part of today. We are a part of tomorrow. We'll be there for the first times and the last. We are a part of each other. We are a part of one. We are a part of life.
BSP Life, with you for life.
This program is presented by BSP Life, with you for life.
Bula Vinaka once again, member of public in Fiji. Thank you for continue to tune into this program. Nabi Bagarara Mataki, knowing the law. And as I said before, we are all blessed with our Fiji police force, always out there in numbers and helping the public. As you know, I have my guest here, Ture Novisa, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Chief Operation Officer, Abdul Khan. We gone through tropical cyclone Yasa, then later, nearly just a month later, we have tropical cyclone Anna. From your operation point of view, what was the major difference between the two cyclones in comparison to your workforce on the grassroots people?
If you look at the two cyclones, when we look at Yasa was more with the strong winds that was coming in, and with Anna, there was a lot of floodings. And looking at Anna, the situations on the ground was places where there had never been flooding. It was flooded, especially Vanolivu. And people has not prepared themselves, I would say, in certain areas, because they knew that the flooding will not happen there, because it has never happened. So we must always prepare ourselves for the worst case scenarios. We have our plans. Whenever we have warnings coming in terms of the cyclone, we prepare our operation orders, we prepare the responses, how are we going to respond into that, and we have our strategies in place as how are we going to have our reserve force, and how are we going to work out with the assets that mobilities that we already have. That's in terms of big vehicles, talking about boats and all those things. So looking at Anna and looking at TC Yasa, the difference would have been, one was the strong winds that was there. As you know, our friends from Vanuatu, our colleagues from Vanuatu, was really hit bad in terms of strong winds. But in Anna, there was more to floodings. We were surprised when I saw the picture of Sanganga police station when it came up, the water level that was there. And I called the ESO, Ungarichi ESO, Utorangi ESO, Utorana ESO, Watabuchuku. Tunuka, sir, Donobono Keto Samay Takakinanigo, we have never ever imagined. Hina Watungo na Lubuni, Salaboli Lubu on a station, Salabutuna Rufai. I want Takako on a video and on his phone, and we started looking at it and looking at to a place where it will never be flooded at that level. So I would say some people were caught off guard as well in this.
I saw the picture too on Senganga in the police station. That's near the church.
Yes.
Yeah, the church is on the roadside. And I was really surprised to see the police post and the level of the water. From your point of view, do you have everything, I mean, equipment or boat, big vehicles, to cater for this kind of natural disasters if they come again?
I would say that we have equipments, but at the outskirts as well, we work closely with other stakeholders as well. Like NFA, we have our colleagues from RFMF that are there, and also the general public that are out there to assist. And I must say here that whilst we were running these operations, we had people that were calling us. I was very touched in the night of Saturday, whilst we were evacuating people. My phone rang, and I thought this was somebody that would be asking for evacuation. That gentleman on the other side called and said, Turubisa, Nimbulu Vinaka. And I said, Nimbulu Saka. How can I help you? Kay posa may o turanga tuno ko ay turbisa, tsikongo na wanga, na nungu wanga, tsikongo na nungu 4x4. Kaya pa kaya ningan drapa, niya benakata, mendole bang ataka na numu operation. Ningay tuko na ngamay na nungu nambango, ningay ngirita ngamay. And I was very touched. And that was one call that I'm talking about. And there was number of assistance that was also coming from the general public as well in terms of assisting.
For those of you that made that call or assist the police, we take this time, the program of Vibagarara Mataki, or Knowing the Law, to say, Pinakabagalevu. And we need a lot of that in Fiji. I believe the police are the only organization that they can coordinate. So member of publics are encouraged. We need all those kind of extra hands. Sebenarnya ba Tunawisan?
Don Tatalangasi, and we have seen overwhelming support from other stakeholders together with the community that is coming in that we have not seen in the past, I would say, with my experience as a Divisional Police Commander and Divisional Police Commander Southern and Western and other places that I have worked with. But with couple of natural disasters we just had, we have seen how the members of the public are coming in and assisting and appreciating. As you earlier said, this is a thankless job. Any wrongdoing that will be there, nawalolo mga kinanobisa with the social media and everything. But with these natural disasters, we have seen the positive comments that was coming in. I mean, we are not here to take all those, to see that there are positive comments always coming in. We know no organization is perfect.
Yes.
There are always areas that we can improve on. But if you've seen in these natural disasters, there were a number of positive comments that was coming in. People were thinking, like I said, it is a thankless job. But looking at officers walking out there, and I must say here as well, I called the Divisional Police Commander Northern when I saw one of the pictures coming in, and I knew very well that this particular officer, he had his house in a low-lying area. And I said, Tora DPC, this officer, is his house, is his family secured? And DPC replied from the other side and said, sir, he has already evacuated his family. They are safe in other family's house out there, but his house is underwater. And this police officer was in a boat evacuating families out there. Imagine, his house is underwater. His family is at a family's house out there, getting shelter, but he is out there saving the community. That's the heart that we want and the pride that we have for the organization.
Thank you, Turanobisa. The way that you talk and the way that you explain, but this is a personal question or comment. I can see that you have a passion for the job you're doing. Can you talk on that? How are you enjoying your job? Because the way that you talk to the camera, to the public, I can feel that you have a passion for what you're doing.
Yes, I have a passion of what I do as being a police officer, whilst being still a very young kid that I attended school at Namboro Primary and then Dudley High School. I always wanted to become a police officer. And now becoming a police officer with 27 years of service that I have the passion of doing this. And I have a lot of pride of the organization and what I do.
When you finish with Namboro, just to cut you back, when you finish with Namboro Primary School, where you spend your secondary school?
I spent my secondary school at Dudley High, and I must say I was very fortunate. Dudley, and I managed to have good friends at Dudley as well. And another important thing there was that I managed to learn more because we used to have a session or two of period of religious knowledge where I came to know more about the Bible and the Christianity as well.
So encouraging the experience that you went through, I believe it's part and parcel of making you to be a good chief operation officer today. Just the level of experience and the people that you mingle with, coming from a race and go into another race, and even your origin. It's really a challenge, and I believe we need those kind of passion and understanding in a country such as Fiji, that we have interdenomination, interfaith, and we have interraces. It's like a crossbreed of everything. We need a lot of understanding to deal with the issues that we'll face every day. And I tell you, it must be a challenge. Before we go to the last episode, let us take a small break.
No value.
program is presented by BSP Life, with you for life.
We are a part of today. We are a part of tomorrow. We'll be there for the first times and the last. We are a part of each other. We are a part of one. We are a part of life.
BSP Life, with you for life.
This program is presented by BSP Life, with you for life.
Greetings again. This evening, Vebagarara Mataki, Knowing the Law. This is our last episode tonight. And we thank you for tuning in. We also thank BSP Life for their sponsorship on this program. And also thank our guest tonight, Chief Operating Officer and Assistant Commissioner of Police, Mr. Abdul Khan. We have Tropical Cyclone Yasa and Tropical Cyclone Ana. Before that, we have the COVID-19 curfew restriction. Can you speak a little bit on that?
Yes, in relation to the COVID-19 curfew, as you know, it's still ongoing. There is a directive from the government, and people need to understand as why that has been in place for the general public, for their safety. So everybody is healthy out there, and we can see that people are still breaching. We still have people that have been arrested for breach of curfew. And I would say this is that people are wanting to break the law, to say that they can go away with certain things out there, but when they are caught and they are on the wrong side of the law.
With this curfew from 11 to 4, it really helps the police, not only because of the COVID-19, but also in general, like the major crimes that are committed during that corridor of the hours, from 11 to 4. As a chief operating officer of Fiji Police, how do you see that in regard to the number of crime committed that time when you put the curfew on?
Yes, looking at the curfew that is in place, definitely we've seen a decrease in the crime, and the movements of the people are restricted, and also the nightclubs and other places have been closed. So we definitely have seen there's a decrease in crime. And it's not only good for the police as a whole, but it's good for the family as well. Yeah. You're looking at the family out there. I think most of the family would be happy that their loved ones are at home. They're spending a good time with them. And I must share this, that I had one of my sister-in-law. She's from Kandavu. And she was telling me the other day, "Sanga indona kabina kango terbisa tu nada ba? Na kefiu go melago tu ngam beta nada ba? Beta no mubrata gai sembar cinkan tu sandu tu bale. Kesianga gai lago tu na rua na tola se lago tu ngana unango. Nango sanga indona kabina go sanga mai sota batungo." So it is not only for the police, but it is for the general public as well out there, for the family, that they have some quality time out there. But yes, restrictions of movement, like I've said, we are continuing to arrest people out there, and they are still breaching the curfew.
According to the acting commissioner of police, that the restriction when you apply for movement, you must have a good reason, valid reason, which is more operational side, rather than just going on a drive or just want to try out your friends and have a drink here and there, which comes to a point, it brings a good quality time to the family, that most of the time they go out dancing or to the nightclubs, pub crawling and grog swiping. All this brings unnecessary stress especially to the mother and to the woman at home. From the police point of view, how do you see that?
Yeah, we've definitely seen that the passes, we are giving curfew passes for essential services and other emergencies that are coming in. The passes have been given. But yes, we are also getting calls of people that are asking for passes, and we know that they're going to abuse the passes that will be given to them. For example, like I would get a call or to the command center getting a call and saying, we're having a funeral gathering. That's fine if you are arranging, necessary arrangements have been made.
Yeah.
We understand that. But sometimes they would call us and said, Saotsuna somate kito na maindami tungo na valengo. That simply means, what are you doing after that? Definitely there will be drinking grog that will be going out there. So we want to inform the general public. It's for essential services, it's for emergency, and it's for other work-related things that we are going to give the passes. We are not restricting passes of not giving passes at all. That's why you see during curfew hours, you'll still see vehicles moving around. People are still moving around. That is just to see that work that has to be done, it has to be done. The essential services has to go, and other things that will be carrying on. But there are people that would want to beat the system. Just a few weeks ago, I was coming back from Navua after checking one of the meetings that we were supposed to have in there. And along Princess Road, I saw there's a vehicle coming. It was after curfew hours. I told my driver, just pull that vehicle on the side. And I went and asked this gentleman, do you have a curfew pass? And he goes like, Nivasotsar, I don't have a curfew pass. Where were you going? And he was just going to one of friend's place. I said, Nikalatsugo, ni dalatsugo na kani takabatsungo. And he looked at me and said, Ukula ni dalatsugo. Yadabatalongali takabatukin ni usakila ni dalasartungago. So people know what they're doing is wrong, but sometimes they just try to beat the system. And my message is, please don't try that, because when you are in the cell or you are on the other side of the law, then it is not good for you and your family.
Weekend na turanga na marama darubuna wanelewa ukila ni matata sarangana no na biba kasal tagatiko na chief operation officer ni obisa weekend waka usi weekend na itoke usungo weekend na itoke ni libuna ngona kenda doktor tunga baka mamanda esona ndra kinimbula bango da biala ko tunga da kilana bunde do chukina checkpoint anda salawala ko da satike bu sneak na sona banwa kenda kila ni sinituki na checkpoint obisa sa kere tukani saba kama mas tukani na nonda ngau na binango ve bagarara mataki nonda to program na obisa me nda muri lawa mandanga ningona nda singa ni muri lawa kina ronga do tiko era tiko na ngone era tiko na makumbula ninda satike bumba suka tiko na lawa laingo do na ngona era basuka tiko na lawa lebo nimber ni mai daba tiko na nonda ngo so tal kala ko binakata mo waritaka vir na leoni banua se vir na obisa era bagro mutumaina e kabina ni kwa
no vale bu talangasi o be barta tsunga bana leoni bunu ndo no boso ndo da butu tsuko ber to na obisa e kenda na sindroni da kabotundo na da da kabotungo ke sianga kina na leoni bunua e na sianga kina na obisa ona kere to ko ber na leoni bunua o kerker sa tsunga ba bimbi me da bata da linga bata na tangarabitabi da kabotungo na bula sa ocho wala ko kidai kandabu do sa club na chuko na drug operation na daga tume kandabu do na dabu lebu sa daga tume kandabu yo kito se dabu tungani ko ni kandabu ongai kereo station of sa me kero la ko na malat do na kor me kandabu ka na tareu sa rabale na kaule rede ka o duru na vale lotu ka o rede bibi ronan rau wada na tama tar tuilo mangor na taltala erna turni korro erna youth sara tukini ka ongai torugi rana da peta katungo turto na workshop peta katungo for us to fight against these drugs, war on drugs. That it's not only the police alone that is there, but it is the general public that is out there that are assisting the police in terms of curbing the crime. And without the general public, we would not have been successful in what we are doing.
Ni rata ka ballo tungo ra zakabuli sartunga
ira zakabuli sartunga era udur mandangan ni lomo re ngota na re mandangan na non raposa tu indika na presentation sa lago tunga indika tare usara bale bu talangasi na o nikito re tunga nikito sa operation tunga kito le dabu chugo indona wasili bu ni taltala turin corona le ni korora sa tuika bebe kanta bu todo ka no to buni bola le butala na lotu sele chugo talani ka kerole shota ni ka ungai rede teni na bibu ke sara meda ka butungo sara lo kombe na lotu ungai le boski ne bera do tala ka wa barta ka bera e sini da sinra ni taka tondo tu na obisa menda me vali taka na basulawa na ka kedea yo tona kando bambimbi taka chugo na lotu na bonua e rona kango da sinra ni bita ba chiki ke bakanda bia tosiliu okenda Men dana vaka pa te tuko, dana re te tuko, dana re te ni, we normally say, we want Fiji a crime-free place.
Pina walevo. Abi kenda nga nalini uno nda sar tukumai. Atortu kuna ngono pinangomo babri mina kabikam do mai na malata. Na vuli babri mina tanga be talanga se Reverend Ilivuni Suai, General Secretary of Methodist Church of Fiji and Rutuma, for the wonderful teaching and sharing and workshop in Malata, in place to be with the police in fighting against drugs or marijuana in Kadavu. Until we meet again next Thursday on this program, Nabi Bagarara Mataki, knowing the law, ni kalopi na katiko, ni Samoa demanda.
This program was presented by BSP Life, with you for life.